Still no messing around, no warm-up, none of that. You know, the producers really don't like the text that comes up at the side that gives you the names and stuff. So, indeed, we're straight into things here, Alan.
Oh, indeed. Fast towards ramp as well. Glowing's in defense. Bit of a bunny hop from Jedka here. Glowing decides, I want no piece of this one. I'm going to fall back towards outside the double doors. Missing a few shots, getting a little bit hairy. And he's going to go down almost immediately. And now we're asking questions of Flamey. The molly is going to force him back after finding one. So, bomb site should soon be in control in Wisła. But the CTs are just coming from endless different directions and picking them apart.
Yeah, again, just playing in and around the kind of individual prowess on these USPs. Snatchy, I think, takes one through the wall there, which is maybe why Travis goes a bit wide, thinking that he'd headshot him down pretty low, but wasn't really the case. So they do have to be careful here. Flamey kind of low. Nice little crossfire setup, however, and he'll peek out, get the shot in the back of the head. Nice and easy. So pistol goes away with 1 win.
Pretty amazing, really, that Flamey managed to, A, stay alive and get 2 kills there. So amazing work from him. And it feels to me like Wisła just got stalled out a little bit too much. If they managed to get down with that entry and just get the bomb planted, it would have been so much easier. But as I was mentioning during the round, so many times the CTs were just appearing behind them in different directions. So it was just a little bit impossible to stay on top of that many directions of pressure. So they see the pistol. They say, not panic stations. No need to panic. We're going to force up instead. Tech 9's in play. Julie's even on the T side and plenty of nades. And if you want to win on this round, I dare say those nades need to be made very good use of.
Down to a standstill, though, in the early portions of this round. So Wisła, as we would expect from this team, just going to wind the clock down. And yeah, I think they're setting something up here, Alan. They're not really a team to just sort of buy the nades and not really do anything with them. I think sometimes teams can default into that idea and just sort of still charge in or play a bit too fast or have somewhat of a live wire kind of player. But really winding the clock down here, and I think trying to bait out some utility as well with the outside smokes.
Comes in, Fostar on Mustang, just about dodges the flash. And it looks like his teammate pushed radio at the perfect time there. So it was an okay idea from Wisła. I think they intentionally didn't throw the third of the outer set wall. And it was the wall from Mini to Garage to try and hold the Mini player whilst they popped in her. But as I was saying, that radio push, perfect timed, and Wisła just got completely blindsided. So 1 win. So far, so good. And keeping good numbers alive.
Indeed. Deagle's out for this one. So we'll see 1 win looking to get a bit more aggressive this time around. Maybe expecting full Glocks, but Deco's still going to come away with a couple there and not take any damage. So, you know, dry running in. It's a bit risky. It's a bit dangerous, but he gets away with it.
Good money bonus as well. Don't forget about that. Peeks in on the flash. And I think it's safe to say that Deco knows it's eco. He smells the eco frags. And he'd like some more of them. So please come my way. Your Deco is... oh no. The Deagles are doing work and suddenly this round could become quite expensive.
Do need to watch themselves here. Still have the majority of the rifles up, though. If not all, actually. I think the other 2 players were on MP9. So that's one small silver lining with those early kills. But still, do need to be careful. You know, Travis, only on $300. So even if they win the round, going down to only 2 or, God forbid, 1 would be very, very costly for them indeed. Information in, Fostar finds the lurking player in Snatchy. They have managed to get down, get the bomb down, but not really set in here, and Glowing very ready in at dark. So easy cleanup in the end. You can be happy with a couple of kills, but 1 win, keeping control of these rounds.
Yeah, a few kills given away. I guess the good news is for 1 win that they kept all the rifles alive, so economically, not the end of the world. Got a bit of a pause coming out as we're going to finally see Wisła on the guns, on their map pick, no less. And, of course, they would have known that T-side would be the start. So if there's any side to prep for, it was going to be T-side Nuke. So I hope in that sense they have some nice ideas for us because, as you mentioned a few times already, it just feels like that Wisła aren't going to get a lot of kind of natural entry frags in this matchup up against what we consider better individuals. So the strategy, Scrib, that's what we need to see. The strategy is what they need to win some T rounds here.
Feels like we might have a bit more of a technical here. Just a hunch. So, hopefully not going to be in it too long, because, yeah, I mean, these early pauses are pretty deadly. It's probably an area, as per usual, you know, that you have a little bit more experience in, but all the same. Never nice, I think, to just be sat waiting indefinitely.
It's better than when you're 15-14 down or something on the third map of a massive series.
That's very true.
And especially on LAN when they cut the team speak when you're in a tech pause. So you're just sat there stewing in your own thoughts and fears. It's not bad, not as bad as that. It's just, I guess, a bit frustrating not to have the game underway or, you know, to get started, get that adrenaline kick, and then suddenly you're not playing.
Still sat, still waiting. Indeed. Really, really getting to the bottom of the barrel, you know. This is where, you see, on... This is a PSA to all, like, tier 2 players, really, and organizers, right? When we're on the Impact League, we got the cams, and we got a nice...
Yeah, I was thinking exactly the same.
We got a nice little filler content area to talk about. We need the cams for Challenger League. I think we should maybe get a petition going to get them in. Because I know there's a few tier 2 tournaments that they do have people on for. But
yeah,
not here.
Playoffs,
Not here.
Playoffs for all relog.
Gotcha.
You definitely have cams on. But yeah, you're right, Scrib. I want to see Deco's bedroom. I want to see what's in the background. I want to see if he's a guitar player or if Fostar is habitually reading Lord of the Rings. I don't know. I want to see these things.
Yeah.
I need to know more.
And also when we get to one that's a little longer like this, like what do they do? What are the habits? You know, have we got any fidget spinners going on, you know, lurking about from 2016 or what? Are they all just like in the zone? Anyone get up and walk about, have a stretch of your legs? You know, what's the deal? So next season. Maybe.
Next
no
season.
promises. No promises. Don't take my word as gospel, Twitch chat, but maybe we'll inquire. But
what we need to do, Twitch, is clip that and send it to Joe Miller on Twitter. And I'm sure by next season we'll have all the cams. We'll have multiple cams per player, different angles, different perspectives. We'll have camera crews in the house to give us all the backstage viewing. That's what we need.
Cambit dream, I suppose. It looks like the energy's getting a little more up here.
Deco's bought. So we're just waiting on Flamey, who I assume has the issue.
Yeah, I would have thought so. Not quite sure what's up with old Flamester. You know, he was looking on it against Sangal, so obviously he's got to be in the right headspace here, and you probably want your PC to be working. That's a pretty good start. So
I'll tell you what, Scrib, let's talk about Fnatic because
oh god,
it's been an interesting week, and I was actually, I don't remember what I was doing, but they played EC Kiev, and I think they were up like 14-6 or something
I think
like
it was
this.
5, but yeah,
It's something like that, and then I kind of zoned out because I was like, Mezzi's top fragging, they're way up, and then I was just doing something else for like an hour and a half, and then someone was like, "You do know Fnatic lost that series?" I was like, "No, no." And then I checked the HLTV, and they lost it. And Fnatic, dire straits doesn't begin to explain it, does it, right now?
Yeah, don't know what's happening there, mate. You know, our guy Mezzi, UKCS Mezzi, is still looking pretty good.
Listen, I just messaged Mezzi and said, "Let's go get Korean barbecue." So
there you go, mate.
if you want that to happen, please tweet at King Mezzi on Twitter, and we'll send you the pictures of me and him at Korean barbecue. But no, I actually messaged him saying, rough few weeks, bro. Relax. But Fnatic's definitely in the boat of anyway. That, I mean, it's obvious from the outside that this team is going to require a huge rebuild, and for them, the post-major kind of shuffling period is enormous for them. So I think it's kind of fair to say that they're kind of, everyone knows that the lineup's not going to survive, and it's really hard to compete with that in your mind, isn't it? How can you play at your best when you just know that changes afoot, or maybe certain individuals even, I'm not sure, know that they're not going to be on the lineup in 2 months. So a really horrid scenario, but it's Fnatic's paying the price now that they're not qualifying for events that they should be in contention for.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a difficult one, right? And it does feel, Brolin obviously had a little bit of stock, as it were, so could maybe remove himself from the situation. I think Crims doesn't have as much of that, kind of due to his age. So it's definitely a difficult one, but it felt like they went for the sort of initial rebuild at the end of the summer and maybe didn't consult every party properly or something, because it just feels like the whole energy from the get-go is maybe not the best. Like when you're winning, there's no problems, but when a challenge kind of arises, there certainly seems to be like certain members that maybe just aren't down for that challenge anymore.
Yeah, and for those of you listening, if you haven't heard Khan on HLTV confirmed, that one's very kind of enlightening to kind of essentially what was happening behind the scenes of Fnatic is they kind of got blindsided by all these situations happening at the same time.
Gotcha, right.
So there's certainly an argument that it was a management failure, and certainly internally they have to view it that way if they want to avoid this in the future. But there is kind of an element of a perfect storm of, Smia wasn't the player for them. They remove him immediately. Nip go for Brolan. Prim's also got COVID at Pro League, and Poison's been really inconsistent. There's just so many things, and they're just free falling right now. So, I love some of those guys. Pains me to see Mezzi being so great individually and the team not performing. So I hope for his sake at least that they turn it around. And obviously, we don't know the Brolan buyout number, but I think it's safe to say they might have some cash to play with in terms of breaking some contracts after the major.
Big man JKS, mate. That's what I'm saying. Get JKS on the squad.
See, you're one of the ultimate JKS superfans.
I'm definitely up there. I mean, I ain't no sponge, I suppose, but yeah, I'm a fan. I like him. He's a good player. So.
It's a bizarre one because I've heard both sides of the coin now. That I know some people felt that after they won Katowice with JKS that it was kind of full redemption and proof that Complexity completely misused him. And I've heard the other side of the coin that was a fluke's a strong word, but essentially from the angle that he had long enough on Complexity to prove himself that it might be something, he might not work in every system or something like this. So I'm still a bit torn. And if I was in the position of building rosters and having the choice over a player like him, I would be a little bit skeptical and might even be crafty with the contract not to lock him in for super long if he'd accept it. So yeah, some questions there, but yeah, JKS on Fnatic, why not? I'm sure Mezzi would enjoy that.
Yeah, and there's not a buyout there, is there? Or is he still contracted?
I believe. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I know that around the time of IEM, he wasn't a free agent. So I think he's still under contract for Complexity to some degree. I might be wrong about that right now, but a few months ago that was the case, I believe. So yeah, it's not a done deal, but I think I heard that they're willing to accept very reasonable offers because it's just not good for anyone to keep holding him under contracts, and they're paying a salary and he wants to play. It's not healthy for anyone. So I think they'd be quite willing. A good team came knocking.
One of our longer pauses in a while, isn't it, to be fair?
I know, I might need to come up with a second field topic at this rate.
Well, maybe.
Give me a minute, I'll find a new one.
We're doing okay. It's just never nice. And I mean, we've been here many times. It's when you decide to take a break or whatever, that's when the game starts back up. So
yeah, we
you know,
can't risk that. Just keep filling. I'll give you a good one. So obviously for the major, I think everyone's kind of in the boat that it's probably FaZe or Na'Vi that are going to win it. And for me, the big question mark is actually Cloud9, of course, formerly Gambit, and then players in that short spell. So I'm still really torn on what level Cloud9 are going to play at this tournament. I am totally in the dark, but I do think they have one of the highest ceilings of any of the teams there. So I think they could win it, genuinely. But I just have no idea what Cloud9 is going to show up because I just don't know and I felt this way at Pro League as well when they're playing under the players tag. It just looks like, unsurprisingly, given the global situation, they're a bit out of sorts, or maybe practice isn't perfect. All these things could be happening. So yeah, I'm a bit torn on Cloud9, and I'm not sure what Cloud9 is going to show up to the major.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's difficult, isn't it? Again, they're a team that maybe has shown a very high ceiling, but more in like the quote unquote online era, and have never really hit that same sort of level. But well, I mean,
they were good
did
at
make
Blast.
playoffs at the
Was it
last
Blast
major.
World Finals? They came second. I think it was.
Yeah, I think so.
They looked really good there up to the final. So that
they're still
would
finding their,
that would be
LAN
my
legs, as it
counterpoint
were.
to saying they're not good on LAN or Stadium. They did actually prove it.
Yeah, and like I say, they made the playoffs of the last major, so we'll see. I still think they don't struggle as much as like a Heroic with the whole LAN angle, but or at least living up to their potential. But I don't know. I just don't think there's necessarily like space for them at the top. Does that make sense? I think they could maybe break into a top 5, but I don't think they could really get.
Well, if you're taking that argument, you must hold the position that G2 is an elite level team.
I mean, they should be. I think they've just had some real issues the past few tournaments. Although,
we're live.
The Pro League was a bit weird.
Oh, Lord.
We are live. G2 are an elite level team, I'll say it. And I reckon they'll at least make the finals again and probably
heard it
lose.
here first. Clip it, save it when they bomb 0-3.
Alrighty. Thank you very much for your patience, folks. And the sort of once every 6 months Alan and Script podcast coming at you with episode maybe 2, 3. Either way, we are into our first rifle. Oh, great flash from Snatchy. Flamey so very blind. Fostar caught off at the back of the site here. Deco is around, but don't want to give up too much ground here. Travis as well, thinking about it. Snatchy's on him, but Snatchy is not ready. Very surprising indeed that he can't find that. Travis's flash blinding up glowing. A little bit messy on the retake here from the one-win boys. And only Deco now remains as Travis gets dropped. I think he's just going to look to save. So Wisła, they had all that time to work it out. And I mean, work it out they did. Pretty clean A-take.
Yeah, it kind of looked like... I can't remember which player it was that was caught out in the open, but completely blindsided. Didn't look like he expected a pop out that early and caught in the open. Flashes or not, he would have died, I think. Or at least got traded. So a good execute from Wisła. A much needed first gun round. And actually, looking at one win's investment here, they're paying the price for losing those 2 MP9s, aren't they? In the anti-eco earlier on. If they had those alive, it'd be full utility on some of these players. It wouldn't be a deagle on Fostar, so they're paying the price, and their nades are going to be dwindling immediately here. 1 smoke left at 1 minute 34. It's not going to be the easiest hold, even on a map as seedy-sided as Nuke.
Really, really slowing down here from Wisła, though, where they kind of approached the previous round pretty quickly. Trying to mess with the conditioning a little bit, as it were. Make one win have the mistakes. There's a player down, which has drawn some attention. Spira not really... Oh, moving up on it. Flamey as well crept into the corner here. Sobol going to be watching him. Smoke about to go down. The tit-for-tat fight. Goofy's in with the quick trade. Where are they going? Not down the vent, it would seem, as maybe I first thought. Fostar at the back end of the silo, playing super safe, but can't get his crosshair in the right spot. His teammate at the top fell as well. But maybe they were meant to work off of each other a little better, and now 4-on-2, I think you do just save here, not a chance of breaking back in.
Yeah, indeed. Like a nades as well wasn't helping in terms of defending that one. And it's still early days, but that A-side defense, they need to have some conversations, don't they, about their setups or being ready for these timings, because twice in a row now, the defense is not withstanded Wisła. So, yeah, map pick here for the Polish squad. Producing some nice rounds and 2 gun rounds in a row. The next is going to be kind of eco around these saved weapons as well. So good chance of freeing Wisła out of nowhere. Looking pretty good here on the T side of Nuke.
As you would expect. Their map pick, you know, picking up pace. One win with some pretty aggressive and effective early rounds after winning the pistol. And as you said, Al, winning those pistols, especially on a map like Nuke, mega, mega important. So if they can get a few more here, I mean, the CT side, probably you want to be looking at least 9, if not 10, and you'd love 11. But for now, they have hit the brick wall, as it were, and eco coming in. They do have a couple rifles, but really not expecting too much out of this one.
Glowing as well, showing that M4. That's some useful information to the T side. You should know that the buy is not going to be good around those rifles for the moment. Slow stuff. Stacked up here in a lobby. Yet to throw any out across smokes, so they might think about doubling back and launching those in the air. For the moment, they just seem to be slowly working their way in. Flashbang with the hut molly. Find the first, trade onto the AK in heaven, and all they need to do now is make sure this M4 doesn't do too much damage, but it looks like Glowing's already in CT spawn, so yeah, clean stuff. Trade out together a Squeaky and Wisła, as we saw you last week. Simple, solid CS, and there's no reason it shouldn't work.
Hoping to hold on to these guns once again, though, just to bolster the buy into the next. Especially the AK. Love a good AK, of course, on the CT end of things, but one win very quickly need to figure out how to turn this around. Glowing going to go down, and Flamey is not really guaranteed to survive here. They're not hunting him super hard, but all the same. Looks like he should be good with the bomb going off in just a second here. So, yeah, Wisła very quickly going to even things up. And one win, I don't know, it's kind of 100-0, isn't it? Very explosive start, and they've just kind of fallen off massively in these early rifle rounds.
Feels important, though, doesn't it, this one, to re-establish themselves. This is by far a better buy than the previous, at least in terms of utilities, so there's no excuses really this time around on that front. And yeah, I'd say for everyone at home, let's focus on this A-side defense. We can't let them get exploited again. That would be that'd be too much for one win to really deal with.
Fast outside execute then. And as we mentioned previously, they've kind of been using this one a fair bit, and in the early round didn't really act upon it. It was a bit more of a fake. In this round, they are going to send players down. They've actually managed to sneak one into the vent, though. That's so smart. I mean, we'll unpack it afterwards, of course. They're now breaking into the B-bomb site solidly with the man advantage. Bomb should be going down in just a second here. A lot of utility still left for one win. No kit, though. I don't know whether there is one on the ground. So Wisła, once again, off to a flying start into this round, into this post plant where one win have looked shaky so far on the retakes, especially. Snatchy first line of defense. Going to get double teamed, and he will indeed get picked off, but a lot of info picked up. Deco on somewhat of a flanking position. Kind of needs to go huge then, and now actually he's the only one left. Does get one, but they'll immediately deal with him. Beautiful round from Wisła, you've got to say.
Indeed, but yeah, I certainly felt like there was a good case for saving at points there for the CT side, but decided to commit behind it. And from Wisła, the thing I like the most is the change of pace to get so aggressive towards outer, and it's such a different look. As I'm sure one win were doing what I was saying and talking a lot about that A-site defense, but didn't come into play. Players get down lower. Somehow someone gets into the vent. I can only assume a vent dive smokes down, and all together perfectly. Travis Trying to get into Africa. Can't find the frag. Yeah, it's just the pistols in play and they're falling thick and fast.
As expected. Wisła really on it. Starting off with the nuke. And yeah, the shot's looking good. Really looking good. And we did see them last week. You know, they have clearly been working on it just a little bit. It was certainly difficult, certainly a close one, but I don't know, this Wisła for me has hit the ground running and really bringing it to 1 win at the moment. So many crispy shots in a round like this, in fairness. Glowing did get one in the middle there, but should be all good. Fostar is here, you know, after a long tech pause. You do get the flashbacks of maybe a disconnect, but no, it's all good. He's just holding the angle, guys. Oh, that's unlucky.
All right, then. Money also is really building up now for Wisła. They've kept so many players alive on these last few rounds. And this is scary stuff now for 1 win. But it's going to take multiple gun rounds in a row to break this terrorist money. And that's concerning when you kind of frame it that way. Wisła really should be getting up to 7-8 rounds here just off the economy. It should be so hard for 1 win to claw this back to, say, 8, 9, possibly the 10 rounds, the clean sweep from here. So 1 win, a lot of work to do. It's got to start here and now. We've got Deco back on the big green, and he's had some nice kind of frags in some of those early rounds. A few anti-eco, albeit, but I'd like to see Deco activated. He needs to start finding some opening kills to slow down this offense.
Well, here we go. No time like the present for it. Wisła getting to the danger zone, really, on the T side. Once again, to highlight for people, 1 win, winning out the pistol. Spear are going to open up. They're taking another fast outside approach. So much confidence off of that kill. Travis going to be here, but he loses the fight, man. They're just not on the same level right now, even individually, dare I say, sorry. Going, sticking around, trying to find the player that's up and around somewhere over here. I'm not quite sure where. Somewhere, though. Glowing will win the fight out. Maybe going to get another, and he does. Massive double. Bolstered by Flamey's frag. However, Sobol catching Fostar. Yes, he might have gotten eyes onto the bomb, but are combined. Or why have I done this to myself? HP of 91. Now just 43. It's going to be difficult, is the point I was getting at, because they're both low HP. I should have looked at the numbers before I set myself up to do quick maths on broadcast. Always dangerous. And then I thought I had the number, and then I had to double-check my maths so that I didn't look like a fool. And it just got very convoluted.
Oh, well. Move on. As is Glowing, I think he's going to save. He had a little bit of an unfortunate time as they crossed to the radio side and went down a ramp. But yep, 43 HP. No interest from him. And I think that round was a clear-cut example of, like, 1 win. The idea was good. Deco was saying, I need to get aggressive. I need to find an opening pick. We're not winning in these kind of defaulty standard rounds. So he pushes towards out. He put down the, I call it the glaive smoke, you know what I mean? To the right side of red. The one that you can kind of default around is the CT side. Got aggressive behind it and just got picked. And there were no teammates near him. There's nobody near to help. There's no extra utility. And it just looks a little bit silly when something like that happens, because what was the plan if it didn't go perfectly right and he didn't kill 2? Straight up. So I'd like to see 1 win maybe be more proactive, but I want to see them on the same page. That's the big key factor here.
Getting pretty scary already in this first half, to be honest with you. They're going to try something slightly different, boost up just outside of ramp, but Wisła have looked pretty good against rounds like this, where actually last week both teams were kind of sloppy against the half buys. Seems to be something that Wisła picked up on and are really, really looking good and just very, very strict, very well disciplined. You know, the spacing coming into ramp here is really perfect. Not going to check the boost out, though. Oh, he nearly gets a double. Unlucky to not get away with that. Meanwhile, there's been another kill coming through from Goofy, I believe. So, looking relatively solid here. 4 on 3, down on the B bomb site, and Of course, only one player here in the form of Travis. Although low HP, does manage to find a head. Still looking very good for Wisła, especially now the bomb's come down.
Deco. Peeking round. His teammates just coming down the vents, so... Needless to say, they're not retaking this bomb site. This is just about finding some exit frags, limiting that terrorist economy, which of course we'd seen get out of control in the last few rounds. So any more frags here would be nice. Doesn't look like it though. Still keeping 3 players alive, all things considered, not an issue, and especially remember that we're near the end of the half now, so there's not that many rounds to buy into from here. So yeah, Wisła should, with bomb plants, have buys from here out. And that's really scary considering 1win are only on 3 rounds. I mean, what's the minimum here, Scriv, on the C side of Nuke? 5? Maybe 6 is the bare minimum going into the second. It's going to be really difficult if they don't find some more.
Yeah, pretty worrying. Pretty worrying. And not even success, but also rifle rounds. There's been like 1 close rifle round. Travis going to open up into this one. Now, that's pretty big. It's kind of a lucky frag through the smoke. Might have seen him before it went down, perhaps, but all the same, pretty lucky. Goofy's going to get tagged up big. So, really, really solid start into this round for 1win. If they can't convert this one at this level of the game, then you really do have some issues. So, we'll see what Wisła have got in the back pocket.
In a good position, though, right now, 1win, so we shouldn't be nervous. The nerve-wracking fact is that Wisła are on a 7-round win streak on the T side of Nuke. So, yeah, you're definitely doing something right if you're pulling that one off. In this man-down situation, for now, they're slowing it down. They're letting Jedka here play out towards Mini. And I think they want to end in an A split. They're just waiting for Jedka to maybe spot some players or force a bit of a rotation.
However, 1win are really not moving. In and around ramp, sure, but there's no presence over there for Wisła, so it doesn't matter. I don't even know if they can really hear it. Gonna try for some utility, banking on the fact that there's someone at the back pillar. Not gonna be the case. Flamey and Tetris. First line of defense does get 1 traded out. That's all good so long as Fostar can chime in. And he does for a couple, in fact. And now just Sobol waiting on the opportunities. No one coming from vent. It was, in fact, the flank, and he cannot get it done. So there you are. 1win. Finally getting a rifle, and pretty easily, too. 3 survive. They can be happy.
Solid stuff, especially Fostar. If he died without a frag, they probably lose the round. But doing a lot of work behind those silos. Peeking left, peeking right, picking his timings, and working really nicely. So good A-side defense this time around. They're up to 4. But as with the picture we've already painted so far, this is not going to be enough. We need some more from 1win. Last round was good. They need to keep it up, and already Squiv. Deco's fallen, giving away another opening pick. They really didn't need that.
Yeah, I mean, the consistency is a big issue, of course, and you have to get them together, and it just feels like sometimes, again, this kind of discipline that we're after. Someone maybe needs to say, right, like, don't let up now, don't make a mistake now. Because, as I so often say, a 12-3 doesn't really look much... an 11-4, sorry, doesn't look much better than a 12-3. So, messy stuff. The A-hit coming in, looking all too easy. Just 1 from Flamey, 1 from Travis. And Glowing the only one left in the 1 versus 3. So, yep, they pick up a round, but they let the next one slip way too easily.
Needs to save this gun as well. Flamey's buy will be okay, as will Deco. Their loss bonus should be reasonably high, so Fostar will at least be able to get maybe a FAMAS and some utility, but Glowing has to keep this AK alive, and that's going to be 8 rounds for Wisła. And another round where Deco feels compelled to get aggressive. He tried to, looking by the minimap, tried to get aggressive in towards Hut at the start and just died out to a player, presumably with a nice spawn. So, yeah, second time that Deco's gone for an entry, fallen by the wayside, and made his team have to play from a very uncomfortable position.
All right. Let's see. Wisła 8 is more than enough for the T side for me, so really going to require work for one win to pull it back into their T half. Already, you know, and there's a few more rounds left to go, so... Problematic. Maybe doesn't even begin to explain Nuke so far. Trying something a little different, though, as they're feign some more presence outside than usual. Try and get Travis up and aggressive, and that usual smoke that they go for. Not here this time around, whether that's a choice because they don't have much utility, or whether they are just trying to think things out a little bit here. Spiro checks the angle all the same, wins the fight. Goodness me.
I'm going to pull up the opening kill matrix after this half, because it just feels like Wisła have found almost all of them, doesn't it? Ever since that, the pistol round and the 2 conversions, all of the gun rounds, with the exception of the round win from one win, have just felt like they're playing so much from a deficit. And even here, after they find the trade, look at all this space they've given up, Script. Sobal's in huts, Goofy's on the A bomb site. These 2 CTs are completely spread out. You might find 1 kill from behind, but he's about to get fragged from Secret as well, so it's falling apart here from one win. And now their money's broken. This is dire straits.
And again, it's kind of hard, similar to last week, to put your finger on it exactly. I think we maybe felt the comms last week were pretty bad, but then now it's just looking like Wisła are undoubtedly the better team. A few more better reads, sure, and some beautiful tactics and whatnot coming in. A few fakes and a few gotcha moments, but individually as well. Just entering fantastically, as you mentioned previously. So Travis is going to get 1 to open up for this, but then traded very quickly. Deco trying to get aggressive, loses that fight out. And another sort of frustrating moment of like, it's a 4-on-4. You don't have to be the hero, but I think he is frustrated with himself. 5 and 12. He's died in every single round apart from 2 now. So that's pretty bad. And of course, he's only got 5 kills, so he's losing a lot of the engagements that he's taking. Blowing. Almost caught. We'll find the kill. And makes it away. 3-on-3, though.
This fight in heaven is going to decide a lot. Sparrow's coming up. Behind him. Finds the frag on the ladder. He's lucky the glowing was low. Flame's going to frag 1 back, but there's a lot of time here to play with. And Silver's going to find another. It's just Flaming remaining, and I'm pretty sure Snatchy knows he's stuck in the corner. Low HP, and it wouldn't have mattered anyway with that headshot. 10 rounds for Wisła Krakow on the T side of Nuke when they lost pistol, Scrib. They lost pistol and didn't reset them second. They went down 0-3, and now they're up 6 rounds to the good on one of the hardest sides of the game.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is definitely crazy here, the level that they're able to hit at the moment. Really looking on another level, just in almost every aspect of the game, to be honest. So, one final stand at the tail end of this first half. Star trying to spam away. Gets flashed out, as does the player in towards Mini. They're a little on top of each other inside the smoke. They're trying something different, clearly, but it has backfired. I think they lost where they were, got blinded up by a flash somewhere along the line, and now it's a 4-on-3 as well as the bomb being at the feet of one win.
Yeah, it looked like they wanted to kind of explode through the smoke and take that A bomb site, but tangling on each other. But Snatchy's found an excellent swing. Oh, he's looking just the wrong way at the wrong time. It was the perfect idea. Glowing's going to find 2, and now it's just Jedka. Not going to be long for this world, I suspect, with just 11 HP and at least 1 win, surely now set for 5.
Indeed, they will manage to find 5 in the first half. Not the best, but we'll see whether they can roll it back here into the second. We'll be back soon. Okay, hello everybody, welcome back in. We are here with half number 2, of course, between Wisła and 1win on Nuke. If you perhaps are new to the video game and you've not seen Nuke before, either way, Wisła had a cracking T-half, and now we move into the pistol to see whether they can continue the trend. A double drop down from the roof, though, seems to be the most effective way to win T-pistol. You heard it here first. 5-on-2, just like that.
Who needs nades? Who needs nades when you got a couple PC-50s and you picked up the jewelries along the way? You've got 6 guns between 5 people. What could you want? And it works perfectly. And I'm a little surprised Pharaoh and Thatcher here aren't saving the armor and taking no damage, but side instead. Snatchy's going to say, I want none of this. I'm out of here. And that's going to be 6 rounds for 1win. And I think it's needless to say, they had to win this pistol, didn't they? If they lost this pistol round, it's almost certainly all she wrote.
Very true. Very, very true indeed. So they seem to have the pistols down, Pat. That's one thing going for them. Now, you know, cast your mind back. A little prophetic from you maybe when you said, you know, if you're winning both pistols, you're surely going to be winning the map. Now, their 5 that they had previous to the pistol there, heavily bolstered by a clean pistol conversion. I fear if they don't get this conversion, then they could really struggle. So we'll see. This is kind of scary.
Yeah, important round. Needs to keep this clean. Few deeks, some nades as well. MP9 here on Snatchy. A lot of nades going down onto main at the start. Going to force him back. But given how these players are grouped up in lobby, they certainly were thinking about exploding out quickly. I guess now they've seen the smoke, they've thought twice about that one. But yeah, just sitting back for now, waiting out the utility. And I think they will be exploding in a couple seconds.
Goofy. Key position, gets the smoke down. That's going to be a bit of information start, to be fair. Snatchy with a great little off angle here. Only good for 1. Sets up a couple of his teammates, perhaps, but they just can't deliver. Snowball now, the only one left. His position going to be known, surely, as the tick of Molotov comes in. Deco looking slightly unaware. Again, bit of weirdness for Deco, it must be said, but the boys are there. However, that ends up making it kind of a costly round in the end, so there is that.
Round wins are round wins. They'll take it at this point. As long as they're not getting reset. I think anything is on the cards. Flamey's also said, I know our money's not perfect. I'm going to play on Julies for this round. So, Gunslingers in the house. Flamey, for our entertainment, if nothing else, we want to see some frags on these Julies, please.
Yes. Please.
Where is he? Where is he? He's out by T-Vent, I think. He's got to find someone.
He's not really providing much action, though, mate. It's the Mac 10 of Foestar.
He DC'd, he's not moving. There we go, he got one.
There we go. Lovely stuff. Oh, he got 2! But, you know, all the action so we thought was on ramp. And Snatchy, I suppose, for Wisła it is. Snatchy does nick 1. Only the Mac 10 guy, and he doesn't care. That Mac 10's paid for itself, so that's fine. And they know where he's at. Julie's getting the fear of God into him. Snatchy on the 5-7, though. I mean, pretty good. He will get taken down. Flaming with the 3K, baby. There you go. The Julies are indeed OP. What are you saying about the 5-7 quickly, though? It's been a little more prominent recently.
It's coming back in vogue, isn't it? It's one of those guns which some will say the CZ is like a higher percentage, or you know you're going to win more fights with it. But the 5-7, when you have that one round, and those crispy taps with the 3K, you know, then you realise, guys, this is the gun I need. Simple as that.
There you go. In-depth analysis. Very quick move here from 1win. Not wasting any time getting in towards A. Jedka, oh, it's rough. I think if they move in a bit slower, or if his support was still there for him, it would have looked good. T-side, aggression, explosive, in your face from 1win, and it's super effective so far. The remaining 3, they're just going to save here. So very quickly up to 9, very quickly in with the potential of evening things up. And we're starting to see a bit more, I think, from 1win. The CT side of Nuke, it's kind of a difficult nut to get your head around. Those of you that get your heads around nuts, I don't know. Okay, hold on. It's a difficult nut to crack. It's a difficult nut to crack. I've got to be careful with what I'm saying. Either way, one win. T-side suits them a bit better. That's the point I was trying to get to.
Thank you for that quite convoluted route to the point. Thank you very much. But I think the takeaway right now is we've got a game in our hands. T-side money's looking good. CT side, I'm not sure what happened there. They seem to just get immediately over Mini with no resistance. So Wisła needs to rethink this defense thick and fast, or, you know, what should be a slam dunk map might actually slip away from them.
Possible. Very possible indeed. Now, Safe facilitates the buy here. Let's see. Maybe expecting another quick one. Snatchy playing anti-flash, waiting for his moment to strike, but the pace is not quite as high. Outside smoke's coming in. No one really there to act upon them. Spam all the way from Mini there, of course, getting outside. So that's great fun. Sparrow's a little late. They have managed to sneak down Secret. And we don't really know on the Wisła side. They're uncertain, to say the least.
Yeah, the wrap smoke's going down. One onto Mini, one onto Hell. That will deny even more information. And I think the really big part is Scriv. They're not going to have any impetus now to go lower. They really think they're getting wrapped on outer. And look how close they're getting here to B. There's no resistance. The nearest player is ramp. They might lose one player, but if they get this bomb down in a good after plant, this could get really scary really fast.
Oh, Snowball is charging in, and he gets ahead of him. He nearly nicks away with a double there. At the very least, he's confirmed that it is going to be B. Gets the information down. Big damage onto Snatchy here. They do need to be careful. 4-on-3 with barely any information and pretty much all coming from the same spot. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. Deco up close. Flash comes in, turns away, waiting for his return flash. Instant trade. Maybe needed more out of it. Fostar and Flamey now left to chime in. Snatchy's trying to make noise. Where is Jedka? He just can't really find a way in, to be honest. Yeah, got to open that door. It gives his position away immediately. The bomb too far ticked, you would argue here. Flamey against two. Snatchy trying to find the spam through the door, but there's just no time. Flamey going to go down to it. Snatchy might just survive. He does indeed. However, one win up to 10, and it feels like a heartbeat ago that it was 10-5. That's crazy.
Yeah, don't be fooled. The pistol rounds are still a huge factor. If Wisła had won either of those pistol rounds, this game is almost certainly over. So, yeah. Nonetheless, though, these T-side rounds have been so much more convincing from one win. And Wisła, they're leaving so many gaps. They're getting caught out on rotations. They're getting, you know, fragged early, and like we saw a couple rounds ago. So, it's been scary so far, and now the ramp rush is coming out. Sobel's the player called upon. He's fallen back. Molly's landing on him. Flamey decapitates the Polish player. And now we're really looking at Sparrow to bail them out. And he goes down immediately. Where were these players in the first half, Scrib? This is unbelievable.
Absolutely crazy, isn't it? Now that they've just, you know, started thinking less, playing more instinctively. That's a bit annoying for Goofy. There's Molotovs all over the shop, I suppose. A bit hard to tell for the game, maybe, which one's getting doused, which one isn't. Snatchy saving. And one win taking the lead.
It's unbelievable. They're just playing with so much pace.
Just didn't think it was possible in the first half, to be honest with you. And yeah, they've just scaled it up. And I think Wisła, we talk about this from time to time with this team. I think they like parameters. They like their kind of safety. Things have to be set up in a certain way. And one win, there is hardly any setup. And they work with their own style quite well. Just a slight bit of tweak. Like when they went down in that second round, it was quite, or second rifle round, I should say. It was quite slow. You know, they really took their time. But now, they're able to pick up the pace in that round, as they did in the first round. Onto A, you know, they're going kind of everywhere, and Wisła, at least early on in the rounds, have, like, no idea. They're having to play very reactively. And I think that's hard for this team to do.
And even reflect on the differences between Wisla's T-side and one win so far. Wisla's was a lot of slow rounds, get the outer smokes down, think about an inner exec, maybe sneak some numbers down outer. One win is completely different. It is pick an area, group up, and brute force your way in. And right now, the Wisła individuals are really just struggling, aren't they, in those initial duels. And Sobel there gave up a lot of ground towards ramp and got fragged immediately. Scary. Getting really scary, and now their economy's in the bin. Snatchy might have saved the AWP, but around it, there's not a lot to speak of. A few 5-7s, Deagle, FAMAS, but yeah, 1win now got a great chance to extend this lead.
Well, Wisła hoping somehow to learn how to fight back, I suppose. After a pause, though, it would be kind of classic 1win. I suppose it's the funny thing, isn't it? What you see typically with pauses is you change up your pacing. Now, for 1win, that just means that you're going to slow things way, way down. However, they have left massive gaps. They're not even considering it. Look at Flamey. He has a bit of an idea, but really, really uncertain. And they don't know if they lost control. Do they have to retake it? At the same time, Sobol is in no man's land. So if they play this properly, they're really sold on the idea of there being someone in lobby. They can just double peek into him.
I don't think they'll expect him in this corner, though, so I expect he's going to get one, and this bomb is showing no signs of meeting up with their teammates on outer, so I'm getting a little bit nervous. Got a few players here picking back up secrets. Glowing takes a lot of damage for his trouble, and was that a Deagle headshot but not a frag? I'm not sure what happened there.
5-7, 5-7.
Ah, that would. I don't think it was. I think it was a Deagle.
I swear he had a 5-7. At the same time, I don't know that the 5-7 could do that kind of damage to a wall. I don't know. Criminal either way. He does eventually go down. There's the kill on Sobol as well. Distracted away by other situations, I suppose. Goofy gets a couple. Nothing much coming in, and another save mission for Snatchy. Not an easy sentence to get out. He says, but Snatchy kind of giving it a go. I suppose you are buying into next anyway, so it doesn't matter too much.
They want to stay 5 rifle as well. They could have picked up the AWP. And they decided not to, so I think Deco's still a little bit worse for wear confidence-wise.
Mm.
Or maybe they just enjoy the pace of the 5 rifle. That might be the case, but yeah, Wisła 2 rounds down after having a phenomenal T side, a truly excellent considering they lost from Vistal and didn't reset them on the second. So Wisła, it will be devastating, won't it, if they can't get this map over the line after having such a truly brilliant first half.
Well, at the moment, I mean, all control, all fingers pointing towards 1win. To be honest with you, it's somewhat similar, very domineering, and just the wheelbarrow needed, honestly. Not even a shoulder peek, it was nearly the full body, and I think there's some of those things as well where Snatchy is maybe expecting the shoulder peek, and then when actually a very easy kill for him comes in, you just kind of get a bit flustered, don't you? So, really weird to play against this team. And it looks like they're sending the entire squad in towards Mini. Another weird kind of move here. Beautiful pre-fire, does a lot of damage. Going to find a kill outside on towards Snatchy, though. And now Decker has to make a move. Goofy works around him, but come on now. There's only 2 of them, and he's so damn low. That should be that, you would assume. Sobol gives his position away, picking up a kill. Grabs an AK. Doesn't know where to go. Comes close to finding Flamey, but not going to happen. 13 for 1win. Run-of-the-mill stuff right now on their T side, which is not what we expected.
Yeah, starting to get out of control. And Wisła, in that round, they pre-mollied one of the cross smokes. That's why there was that big gap. That player, I think, unsuspectingly peeked into it. And was fortunate not to die. So 1win had no choice. They had 5 players towards out. They had to go mini. And Wisła are going to watch this demo back and see that they are in brilliant positions on the CD side. They're just not converting. So a few too many mistakes, and 1win, an absolute runaway train at the moment. They are just rolling over Wisła when they can find good jewels.
Goofy up close. He's feeling it. He's wanting it, but trusting his better judgment to just chill. Glowing once again, by the way, who is leading the charge here for 1win. So, been really stepping up his game these past few weeks. By quite a margin in this one. You know, he's really, really solidly dominating the field of play right now. A minute left, though, and 1win taking their time on this. It's a little rarer. Sobol off angle with the UMP of all things. Travis will beat him out. You know why? Because he's got an AK. So that's how that goes. Sometimes, unfortunately, you do everything you can. You just get bested by the weaponry, as you'd expect with a bigger investment. Goofy, though, does catch a straggler on the back end there. Recovers an AK. Snatchy going to find one downstairs. Oh, and maybe a run through here. Maybe a bit of something from Jedka. Gives his position away, but can't find anything. 3-on-3 for the retake. And I feel like you just got to go for it. Yeah, it is like, oh, what's the point? Futility, save the AK, but I think you have to give it your best shot here. Trade out from Goofy. Bo-Star needs to win this, and he does. Goofy will get found. Can't beat that silo angle, mate. 14 for 1 win.
Look at their money. Look at their money. Wisła are going to be facing a bye round all the way here if they want to pull it back to overtime, let alone the map win. So, oh, it was so brilliant on the T side, but the CT has fallen so flat since the rifles have come out. And they are really running out of time to make some changes. They've got to find a way of playing the CT side where they don't give them opening picks and they don't see so much map control.
Madness. Whoa. Snatchy. Broke the camera with that shot. Does manage to land the flick and pick up glowing. Pretty important one early on here, you have to say. And 1 win. We've actually, I think, yet to see them in a rifle round play from a solid man down type scenario. So I'm interested to see how they approach this.
Problem is here, they've already used quite a lot of util and they haven't sold Wisła that they could be down on that B bomb site by any route. So the ramp defense is formidable. 2 players there. Got 2 on towards A, and Snatchy honestly is not that far off if you want to try and cut off players coming out squeaky as well. So for now, they just need to hold tight and make sure they leave no gaps in this defense. Oh no, please don't tell me Travis can get across. He can't. Good find from Snatchy, and now it should be impossible.
You'd assume so. A-Hold's got to stand up, though. Jedka in for 1. A little bit of an assist in from Goofy. Secures the final. Lovely. Flawless round. Might be a little late, you would argue, to get a flawless round going and look solid in the rifles, but all the same, better late than never, Wisła will be saying. Of course, 5 more now is what they're after, so we'll see. 1 win. How do they answer back? Is it going to be quick pace? That's probably what I would expect here.
Probably. Was working earlier on. Run boost. Get Snatchy on towards top of the AC area. Is that his smoke? I think that's a teammate smoke giving you a one-way. I haven't seen that before, but I guess they have to crack out every ace behind their sleeves to try and pull off this comeback. Travis! What a pair of entries. That came out of nowhere. What on earth was that?
Yeah, I think he spun around and found the player in towards Mini as well, which is just ridiculous. They get caught in the battles they were taking. And that is it. Travis has got that, like, 10% chance. Find the crazy running headshot. And 1 win. Playing around their strengths. Picking up the pace once again. 15. Absolutely secured.
It's unreasonable how good some of these players are at just opening bomb sites. It's amazing how they can just mechanically isolate these good fights and just win every time. And even there, Travis gets insta-dinked, headshots the player back, and pivots on a dime to kill the second. It's truly amazing individual play. And yeah, I think, you know, 1 win have not played a perfect game here. But in this second half, they have just been completely unbeatable in the individual department. I don't know what Wisła can change up at this point. This feels over on this map at least.
Well, once again, 1 win in prime position to nick away their opponent's map pick. They are getting quite a reputation for doing this. I suppose the difference this week, you feel, has to be whether they can find their own. Quick nades, quick A move, at least faking it out. Snatchy won't be sold. Very, very close outside smokes as well. So they're going to get down real fast. Shmiro not ready. Been having a rough second half, it has to be said. And he might just pay the ultimate price for it. 5-on-4 straight out of the gate.
Sobel alone on this lower bomb site. He's playing on the railing. He's in exposed position, and Snatchy's doing a lot of work actually to make this possible. Finds one, and Snatchy coming down from the ramp makes it at least a 2-on-2. At least it's a doable position, but now 1 win of all the info, and they're bringing the bomb back up.
Beautiful move. Again, you know, just the player at the back, wasn't he? I thought Snatchy might have picked him off after getting his smokes down, and opted to stay up instead of going down. It kind of pays off. I don't know if it was part of the initial plan. Travis, bomb plant, immediate moving towards lobby, but gets his crosshair drawn away. He thought he'd cleared it, you know, but of course, timing not there for him. Now Flamey going to have been spotted. He has to make a move. Big flick onto Goofy. Jedka, he knows exactly where he is, but Flamey's going to take his head off round the corner. Oh my good lord.